Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna continue working on part 5 of this house build. Let's get started. So in the last video, we were able to finish up adding all the furniture, and then we added the stairs, the door, and then the sliding door right here, and then I show you guys how to add in materials and to use split face and then adding the paint. So now we're gonna continue working on this. I want to focus on finishing the kitchen. So here we still have our section. If you want to add the section, you could click this icon and then you'll be able to add a section. Now I'm gonna put this section right about here, and then I'm going to flip it so that the view depth is showing on this side. After that, let's click on architecture and then click on component. Go back and then just click on drop down and then click on model in plate. So we're going to add a generic model and then press OK, and then you could just leave it on this name. And then here we're going to create an extrusion, and then we're going to set this on the level 1 floor. So here level 1, it's already set because our view is like this. So now I'm gonna use rectangle, and I'm just going to put a rectangle like this. You can move this so that we could put the fridge on this side. So here I'm going to add the rectangles like so, and I want to make sure that we have at least 600 to 700 of depth. So let's make this one 700 at least, because we have a lot of room to cover. And then here, let's move this one. I probably want it to be, I want my fridge to be big enough. So maybe 3000 is good enough, so that we have enough room for our fridge right here. And then it's just gonna be linear. What we could do is we could make it an L shape if we want to, but that's for you to decide if you want to do that. We can even do that, but what I'm thinking of is we could add an L shape, and from the L shape we could add the stove and or the oven, convection oven, and those kind of stuff. So yes, let's add the L shape right here. We can even push this one back, so you could feel free to go over there. So here 700 as well, and then let's remove this TR, so that's trim and extend. And then here let's just have one of the, there we go. So once we're good with this, what we can do is click here, and then I want it to be up to 900. So the height will be, or extrusion part will be 900. And then here we're going to change this to a wood finish. So let's go here and wood finish. I'm gonna put birch semi-gloss. Apply, OK. And then let's click finish and then finish. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to click here, or click on the wall opening, and then we could just push this one back, because I know this is too big for the opening. So I'm just gonna push this and then make sure that you have an ample room for this. So I think that's good enough. So now, if we check it out on our 3D, it will look like a box like that. What we could do now is we could select so that we could visualize what we have. And then I'm planning to add, obviously we need to add kick plate right here. And then also what we're gonna do is I'm actually going to push this back more because I'm going to add a case for the fridge, and also I'm gonna add a case for the combo convection oven and microwave. So now let's go back to level 1. I'm gonna push this one back so we have room here to put in the casing. If we want, we could insert it now so that we could visualize the sizing. So that's a good idea. If you don't know the size, there's always pre-made Revit families that we could use to just do some sizing. So go to specialty equipment, domestic, mid-range. So now we have a fridge here. So I'm gonna do is add this kind of fridge, click open, and then CM, spacebar to change orientation. And as you can see, we don't have enough room, so now we could just push this back. That's why it's easy to use in place model in place, because it's easy to manipulate. So here we're just going to use this as, so I don't want to show the label, so I'm gonna uncheck that. And then here we're just gonna use this for spacing, but we're still gonna use this now. I don't want to change this anymore. But now at least we can put in the case, and then here we need to load that family. So I think it will be on the other side. So let's go back here and go to high end. I think it's one of here. So this one, oven built in double convection. So click on open, CM. Let's add the oven right about, I think this is good enough right here. We could put this one so that it's sticking out of the 700. So at least now we know the idea. And then we could put the casing right about here, and we're good. So click on here. I don't want to show the label. Uncheck this one. Apply, okay. And then once we create a casing, it will be right about here. So AL, and then I'm just aligning it properly, and then we could see how it looks. We could put it up a little bit. So elevation on level probably 200, or no, that's too low. Around 400 will be good. And we could even do it higher if we want to. So we could estimate that later on. So I'll make it 600 now. So I think that's good enough. and then we could put cabinetries below as well. So if we're gonna do that, maybe we could just use this one as a case as well, and then add another casing right above. So let's go to level 1. I'm going to add in another section so that we could visualize the other side. You just need to flip this, select this one on the stem, flip it, look for the flip icon right here, and then let's double click here. So what I was thinking is we could do the things that we did earlier, move this one a little bit right there, and then let's just push this up. So we have the same cabinetries right here, and then we have a different cabinet that is enclosing this spot. So we could actually do that instead. So I'm just gonna use align AL to align the bottom, and then if we see it, it will look like that. Now this one is part of everything, and we have to remember that we're going to add a top here, so we need to change the height again for this one. So we could add in 925. Why 925 is because the 25 is for the top. So I'm just thinking further. So I know that there's gonna be top, and then we could just put it exactly where it is. And then we're gonna put casing. Now what I'm gonna do is let's select this one again, edit in place, because I want to add the void right here. So here I'm gonna click on void, and then let's void sweep. Let's pick the path first, so I'm gonna pick this path and then this path, because this is just an L shape. So click on finish, and then go back to profile or the sweep. Just click this one so that to show this, and then edit profile, and then here we're going to create just the kick plate portion. So I'm gonna use rectangle and just add this one right here. So the height around 100 and the depth is around 80 will be good. And then after that, click finish, go back again, click finish, and then before you click finish again, cut geometry, and then after that it was cut, and then click finish again. So that's good. So now I want to add the casing for both of this so that we could just do that right away, and we can see all of our offsets, and then the casing will at least look finished for this, even though we still need to add the top and then the cabinet doors and those kind of stuff. So now let's go to level 1, and then here we have our section 1. So I'm going to open section 1. I'm going to add our opening right here, or like our casing. So let's go back to architecture and then drop down and then model in place. It will be another generic model, and then extrusion, pick a plane. We need to choose this plane, which is the wall right here, and then once we do that, we could now select rectangle, and then let's add a rectangle like so. I want to make sure that I want to give some gap at the top, because we have 200 from the floor going down. So we could put this one above about 2800. And then let's align this properly. And then after that, let's create or click on rectangle again and add a rectangle around here. And then after that, delete this. Type in SL, that's split element. TR, trim and extend. And then click finish. And then we could go to 3D view. And then we could adjust how it is extruded, or the amount that it's extruded. So we could actually go to level 1 to see it. So here we could just push it back. We could use align to push it back a little bit more. For this instant, it's not grabbing this line. So now we could just manually do it. I think that's good enough. And then now, let's create something right here. So we need to go to this section, which is section 2. Now we're gonna do the same by going to architecture. But before we do that, actually, I just want to double check if we set up the material here. So I'm gonna select here, and as you can see, the materials is the same material that we have onto the base cabinet. So we need to change that in order for us to set a different materials in Twinmotion. I'm gonna choose a stone here. So let's go to stone, and then maybe we could use this one, filled stone. Apply, OK, and then finish. Then let's go to section 2, and we do the same thing. For this one, we might change not the materials, but I think semi-gloss should be used. But I'm thinking maybe we have to change that as well, because, or we need to use stone because there's a lot of heat that will be generated for this. So at least a different material will be good. Then again, there are different kinds of materials that it will look like wood as well. So maybe we should stick to semi-gloss for now, and then later on we could figure it out. So now let's go back, click here, model in place, click on generic model. This will be generic model number 3. Click on extrusion. We need to pick a plane. So set, pick a plane. We need to select this wall as its plane. Click on extrusion. And then now let's just add this. And then once we add that, we need to create another one. Same thing again. We need to have the height to be at exactly 200 from above. And then I want to at least have the same distance from here. So this is, let's make this one 110. And then this one as well, 110. So everything is uniform. Delete this. TR, trim and extend right here. Trim it right here. No, not yet. SL first. TR here. And then trim here. Trim here. Now we're good. semi-gloss birch, that's fine, and then click finish. Let's look at it at 3D. Now it's looking like this. We need to push this back a little bit, so let's go to level 1 and let's push this enough, like that. I think that's perfect. We have this one looking like this. I think it's better if we have wood below as well, or we could just flush everything off. So what I'm gonna do is let's add in the top first for this one, so that we could see, or we could view what it looks like, and then from there we could judge if we're going to make this one whole area and then this one to be like that. So select this one again, edit in place. Let's go to level 1, and then here we're going to create another one for the top. Extrusion, we're going to start at 900 because this height is up to 900. So 900, and now the extrusion end should be 925 because we're just going to add a 25 thickness. Now this will be stone. So I'm gonna use marble. Click apply, okay. And then now we just need to pick the lines. So use this, pick line, and then we could just go around like so. Now we just need to click finish, and then click finish again. Let's see how it looks. So it looks weird knowing that this is not flush enough. So now that's what I'm planning to do, is to just move this one back, make it all flush and look nice. It will look nicer. So now I'm gonna grab this and then I'm gonna pull this back, making sure that I'm pulling back only this. And then after that, what I'm gonna do is we're going to grab this and push this one all the way down. So we could use actually align AL, click the face right here. So now let's select this and then select this, and then I'm gonna select here and then select here so that everything is flushed. And then here I'm going to select this face and then this face right here. And then now AL, the bottom here, and then the bottom right there. So now it will look like that. And then AL, the face right here, and then the face on the other side. So it will look like that. And then just to double check, let's go to level 2. I want to actually add or to change this a little bit. So edit, edit extrusion. I believe I want it to be more above now. So I'm gonna click on finish that, undo this. So I want it to be above that now, because we have some space and it looks much better. And then let's just edit this, click here and then edit extrusion. Now we could just use align AL to click that and right there. So that's fixed. And then here as well we need to fix. So now instead of this one, we could just use a line. I want it to be around right here. So now TR, trim and extend right here, and then delete just one of this, and then just trim it and extend. And then click finish. Finish, and if we see it, it looks much better. And then all around we're gonna add in some decorative pieces and the door here, hinge door. So we're gonna stop here for now and continue on the next video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you liked the video. Please hit like and subscribe. Feel free to comment down below.